Thank you for joining me again this week. We're obviously starting October now, so I've got a whole new set of exciting people who are going to be joining us this month. We're starting off with the wonderful Natalie Trembecki, who happens to be my copywriter. So I hope you really enjoy that. For people who haven't so far been able to listen to these interviews, you can access all of them up to now on my website. If you go into a visibility shift, they'll all be there. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Liz Devonshire. I'm brand photographer and visibility expert, and I'm really excited to be introducing these visibility shift interviews. We've had some amazing people so far. September, we've seen Olivia Morocco, we've seen Mary-Louise O'Neill, we've seen Zinat Ahmed Pito, and we finished off with Hella Wozniak Hay, and it was really fantastic. So if you haven't heard those, please go back. Um, but I hope you enjoy this one. Please do enjoy. Take care. Bye. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me once again for this week's chat about visibility. Today, I'm really happy to be joined by Natalie Trembecki. So, as you know, each of the people I've been speaking to during this series have all had different areas of expertise with visibility. So I couldn't not include the wonderful Natalie Trembecki, who just happens to be my copywriter. So hi, Natalie. I'm really excited to have you here today. And as I've just said that you're my copywriter, you're an incredibly successful copywriter who helps many, many businesses tell their stories to their ideal audiences. Now, obviously, I'm a photographer and I'm all about the visuals, but I know these things have to go hand in hand. So before we start on the questions, I'd really love it if you could tell me a bit more about your business, Writer for You, and share your thoughts about copywriter's place within the business of visibility.
Oh, bless you, Liz. That was such a lovely introduction. And I love working with you. So I'm really glad you've included me in this because as you say, what we do works so well together. And I find you kind of inspirational. Your business, your brand, the way you photograph. Yeah, you such
Oh,
skill.
thank you.
Love
Thank you.
working with you. Anyway. Um, so yeah, I've been doing this for around about 8 years now. I think I worked out recently it was about coming up for that. So that's really exciting when I think back to not really understanding what I was doing when I started. That's not to say I didn't understand the writing, but I'd never run my own business or anything like that before. Um, so for me, what I how I see my service is as a copywriter. And my job is to help other people's businesses shine. And in fact, I think we probably have this conversation quite a lot. This is one of the similarities between us. Our job is to help other people be presented at their best.
Yeah.
Because the people I talk to are fantastic at whatever it is that is their niche, whether they're coaching or, running a retail business or whether it's a wellness support thing. Um, the So many people go into business to help other people, but then struggle to talk about it because other than showing how much they love it, it's very difficult sometimes to get that seen online because of the communication aspect of it.
I mean, that's absolutely so true. I mean, in fact, the way sort of you say it, we're here to help other people shine. I hadn't really kind of pitched it like that, but that is so true. We're here to help all these other businesses connect with their ideal audiences and be seen by their ideal
Absolutely.
audiences, either through visuals or through words, telling the story and showing people how that they can connect with their ideal clients. So
I
it's
think this is it. I think going back years ago, and I won't tell the whole story, but before I was a copywriter, I did something completely different, and I worked in the corporate world, and I absolutely hated the people that worked in marketing for various reasons. But I thought that I was one of these people that thought that marketing was all about trying to convince people to buy things they didn't need. I was so against marketing, and it's only since I started being in the world of small businesses and, working in marketing myself, that I realized how important it is that we are able to show off what we can do to help and possibly not even think of it as showing off. I can think of it as showing off other people's businesses because most of my clients wouldn't like that kind of language because for them, it's all about helping people. And you
Yeah.
can't help people unless you're seen.
Well, yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of the language I use is about, helping you reach the people you need to reach and helping you support other people because unless you're seen, um, you there's a whole load of people out there who need your help that are never going to get it.
It's really true. And actually, as I've mentioned in the introduction, I mean, all the people that I'm speaking to over the next few weeks
Mm.
and the ones I've spoken to, it's all about they're all there to help other people become visible. So,
That's
with the
it.
exception of Zena from last week, where we discussed her journey to visibility, which was really interesting. Um, Olivia's been magazine editor. She helps shine a light on lots of businesses. Mary Louise is Canva Queen, helping businesses use Canva to become more visible. You're a copywriter, making people more visible. Next week, we've got Hella on, who's a connectress who loves connecting people, and she also
Absolutely.
runs Sister Snog, which is networking, which is again is really important to people's visibility. So it's all about all these people who can shine a light and help businesses. So hopefully, some of the businesses watching today, all these people out there ready to help you get visible to your ideal clients. And
That's absolutely it, isn't it?
copywriting is a big part of it, and photography is too. So I'm gonna, if you're okay with me diving into
Of
the
course.
questions right now, I wanted to ask you about what leap of faith did you make in the beginning to step out of your comfort zone and into the limelight? Because it it usually is a leap of faith for lots of
Mm.
businesses, and it's really, it can be really tough at times, especially if you're not an extrovert.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because when I saw this question, I thought, oh my God, I don't know how to answer that because I'd never wanted to run a business. When I know other people who run their own businesses, and I'd always thought, wow, that's amazing. There were so many elements of it that terrified me. Um, and then when you break it down, there are things like when I decided to try it, I wrote my own website, and I can remember pressing publish and seeing my words live on the internet and thinking, oh my God, that's crazy. And then the first time you go networking and you're standing up in front of people talking, because as you say, I'm not an extrovert. There's a reason why I like writing. I like sitting at my desk and I like talking to people one on one, but standing in a room full of people I didn't know, that was terrifying. And I've never liked having my photo taken. But if you work with the right people, that changes, doesn't it? Because the whole thing can become quite a really fun, joyful experience. But yeah, all of those things kind of, and even now, I kind of, yeah, like I say, it shocks me to think that it's been 8 years, really.
If you've got a passion for what you're doing, like I know that you have, then I'm sure
Yeah,
it does go really
it
quickly.
really, really does. Yeah.
So, as a copywriter, I was just wondering how much you consider the imagery which should be standing beside your copy, and how important do you think the partnership between copy and brand photography is? Obviously, we work together, but and I know you probably work with other photographers as well. But it'd be really interesting in seeing your kind of your take on that, especially for
It,
other people listening.
Well, this is, yeah. Again, it's another really interesting question. I'd not really thought about it in these terms. I do. I think it's crucial. Um, I don't necessarily ever talk to my clients about the photography they're going to use when they're publishing something. I suppose there are kind of occasions that we talk about kind of the risks of using stock photography because everybody else is using it and things like that. And I know for a fact that I've written copy for websites in the past. And then when you see it live, if they've got the wrong photography, it's I think that's the key, isn't it? When it's wrong, it can really affect the whole thing.
Yeah.
So where I would always kind of trust the graphic designer, the website designer, the photographer to create do their best work. You can see if it hasn't all been brought together well, it is such a shame because it can make such a difference to the impact.
Yeah.
And I would always say that bespoke your own personal photos so much more effective than as I say using stock. And there's a time and a place for socials, blogs even, that more relaxed, taken on your phone photos can work as long as you kind of know what you're doing and can get the framing right and the light right and
Yeah. Yeah.
but it to have words that effectively represent you and make you shine and then putting them next to a really bland image that um or one of people that have got nothing to do with your business and they're clearly nothing to do with your business always feels like such a shame.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I totally agree because I think, it's the same for a photographer if the copy's not right. I think you want to be, when I work for my clients, I really want the best for my clients.
Mm.
I know you do too. And so when we look at where our photographs go, what you think about where your copy goes, we really want the design to be fabulous. We want the copy to be fabulous, and our photographs obviously to be standing out in that context, looking great as well. Because we're it's like a holistic kind of
Yeah,
approach to like launching somebody into their visibility, making sure all of those areas look brilliant, so they can go off and do what they need to do and not worry about how they're
yeah.
looking and how they're appearing to their audience.
I think I was recently did the website copy for a mortgage advisor locally. And she's absolutely lovely and really, one of those really strong, sparkling personalities that comes across. And every time I talk to her, we'd end up laughing. And, she's brilliant. And I mean, I've not yet needed her for my mortgage, but I can imagine she's the kind of person you would trust implicitly. And so it was great fun working on her website words and creating something that showed off how friendly she was and you know, how approachable and honest and all the things that you want from somebody that you're talking to about finances that, is going to be acting on your behalf, all of those things. And when I saw the final website, I was so pleased because she'd had some brand photography done. She'd picked colours that worked for her. And so the design on the website was brilliant. The photos were, there was ones with her and a dog. There were, ones with where she was talking to a customer, and you could see that the real the way that she speaks to somebody, and it captured her so perfectly. And it is exactly what you're saying. We're both trying to help business owners be confident because they are good at what they do, and all we're doing is showing the rest of the world that. And to
Yeah.
provide that confidence, to provide that real view of a person, whether it's on their website or in an article or on their social media, whatever it is, if they're going to show up as honestly them, it takes all of this, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
takes the words, but it needs the pictures too. You can't really separate them.
No, no, you can't. Um, so my final question to you is, what advice would you offer listeners today to become more visible to their ideal audience, maybe there's a key piece of advice there that you'd give them.
Well, I think it's trying not to be scared, and that's, it's a lot harder than it sounds, isn't it? I think a lot of the people I work with, it's confidence. And I know from working with you that that confidence to get in front of the camera is a huge thing. And again, the confidence to press publish or put words out there where it has become so much easier to be visible online. There's also a fear because you know that other people can see it. And I think so many, particularly, it can be really hard for people that don't have confidence in the written word, particularly if they've had problems at school, been told that they, make mistakes. And I always say, just do it because we obviously want to get it right. Everybody wants to get it right. And if you worry that you're not going to get it right, there are ways to help get help with that, whether it's software or getting a second, getting someone else to read it through, whatever it is. But don't let that put you off trying. And if you're really lacking confidence or feel that you can't write effectively, sometimes recording yourself and just using what you would be saying out loud and using that as your copy can be really effective because one thing that really causes a distance between us and our audience is that lack of real voice, not being able to write in our real voice. And if that's something you struggle with, then literally using your phone to record you, and then whether you then transcribe that or copy it back for yourself. Obviously, you might need to make a bit of editing to get rid of all the ers and ums and but that can really help understand what the difference is between what you've been taught to write at school or in your past jobs or whatever else it is that's put these words in your head and how you would actually be if you met someone in real life because those are the kind of communications that people are looking for.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds really great because I think it's about authenticity, isn't it? And I think
Yeah.
people do want, they do worry and they do think, oh, they want to be perfect, but perfection can put a block on you. And I think
Mm.
everyone puts a lot of pressure on themselves. They look out and look at other people and they don't realize how that perfection has been created.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily real. And that means,
absolutely.
and when it's not real, their audience can't necessarily connect with them properly because there's a barrier between them. So sometimes when things aren't perfect, it's almost better because you're gonna appear more authentic. You're gonna be real, and your mistakes, as long as you own your mistakes,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
the important thing.
absolutely, because I think we can, as you say, we hold ourselves back. We don't press publish. We stay off social media because we're scared that other people are looking at us and we might make a mistake. But actually, it's often when I make a mistake, I'm really fortunate. I get private messages from people saying, by the way, did you know you've done this? And you go back and you edit it. Very few people are out there waiting for you to make a mistake to laugh at you.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are people potentially who find themselves in that position. But in my experience, most of the people in our business networks are actually wanting to support each other.
oh yeah,
And that
without a
is
doubt.
about knowing the real you. And
Yeah.
that is the one that makes mistakes, the one whose hair doesn't look perfect, the one that can't get to do the thing quite on at the time when they said they were going to because they forgot the thing. Not that that's ever happened to us, Liz. But
Yeah.
that's real life, isn't it? And
Oh,
those are the relationships we want to make. Yeah, that's where I'm.
totally. Totally. It is so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yes. We've never forgotten anything, have we, Nash?
Always perfect.
Yes, yeah. That's fabulous. I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your sort of like ideas on visibility and your thoughts about how kind of visibility is a bit of a journey for us all, and authenticity is really important. Um, so, to everyone else, I hope you've really enjoyed this session, and please do let us know in the comments If you want to know a little bit more about Natalie, her details will be in the comments and also alongside the video when you view it. Yeah, thanks for sharing all your insights today, Natalie. I'll see you very soon.
Absolutely.
And take care,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
So I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Natalie Trembecki. She's a great copywriter. If you want to learn more about her or get in touch, please do check out her details in the comments, and also they come up next to her video as well. So if you want to um, perhaps have a chat with her, that's a good way to reach her. If you'd like a chat with me and you'd like to talk about a photography shoot or about strategies to become more visible, please do. I'd love to have a chat. You can either DM me or you can contact me through the contacts on LinkedIn or the bio on Instagram. I'd love to grab a coffee or just see how I can help you. So feel free anytime. Anyway, in the meantime, see you soon and take care. Bye.